A new report conducted by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warns that if the crisis is not addressed, things like rising temperatures, extreme weather, and land degradation could trigger a global food crisis.
As scientists are warning that 2019 could be the hottest year on record.
Brown University says the DoD is both the largest oil consumer and institutional polluter in the world.
Right now at 6, a meeting is underway to discuss the 90,000+ gallons of jet fuel that spilled out of a tank at Oceana. The cleanup is progressing, but environmental consequence seems significant here, and people who live and work near the spill on London Bridge Road.
Ranging from the pollutants from the CO2 contributions that the U.S. military puts out into the atmosphere, the amount of fuel that they use.
59 million metric tons of greenhouse gases. That's how much the U.S. Defense Department spewed into the atmosphere in 2017 alone.
Military bases tend to be very, very polluted. The chemicals there, you see pesticides, you see solvents, PCBs.
They filled the sea with cement and sand. This area was very rich in marine plants, and dugongs used to feed here, but now they don't come here anymore. They've also constructed sea walls that prevent turtles from laying eggs on the shore.
These training facilities would spray this firefighting foam where it would wash into the ground, wash into a nearby stream, and it's actually soaked into the ground and contaminated groundwater and surface water in most bases across the country.
Looking into what would cause kidney cancer because it didn't run in my family. I don't have any history of it. Don't have any history of multiple sclerosis in my family. So I looked into it and found an article about the chemical PFOA and PFAS that was in fire retardant foam that's used at air bases.
I have another friend she died, Patty, of a brain tumor, but it started out as melanoma, cancer. This is my friend Brendan's house across the street. He also has his child with a brain tumor. He suffered great many losses to cancer. His mother, his father, his brother. knew about heavy metals. I knew about the mercury and the lead and even chromium. We were exposed to PFAS, but we were exposed to a heck of a lot more.
The U.S. doesn't look into the environmental issues or acknowledge them because of one big reason is the cost of retributions. So if the United States military is destroying an area's ecology, and not only that, also affecting the health of other people, there's a huge cost in that.
Today there's a worldwide movement defending the environment, but this construction is destroying nature and the ocean. Building a military base, a place that's associated with killing people, is truly stupid.
I want the entirety of Congress, in fact, the whole U.S. government, to remember the fear and despair that my generation lives with every day, and I want you to hold on to it.
Erosion of fertile topsoil, deforestation of our great forests, toxic air pollution, loss of insects and wildlife, the acidification of our oceans. These are all disastrous trends being accelerated by a way of life that we, here in our financially fortunate part of the world, see as our right to simply carry on.
Solving the climate crisis goes against everything that our country was unfortunately built on: colonialism, slavery, and natural resource extraction. This is why the youth are calling for a new era altogether.
Just as my federal government sanctioned discrimination in schools and housing until the middle of the last century, a policy that harmed children, my federal government has also orchestrated and sanctioned a system of fossil fuel energy that is harming children in another way, irreversibly threatening our health, our personal security, our homes, and our communities by recreating a dangerous climate system.
If our house was falling apart, our leaders wouldn't go on like you do today. You would change almost every part of your behavior, as you do in an emergency. The EU elections are coming up soon, and many of us who will be affected the most by this crisis, people like me, are not allowed to vote. Nor are we in a position to shape the decisions of business, politics, engineering, media, education, or science. Because the time it takes for us to educate ourselves to do that simply does no longer exist. And that is why millions of children are taking it to the streets, school striking for the climate to create attention for the climate crisis.
Like youth who have come before us in the civil rights movement and other social justice movements, it is often the youth that must shine a light on systems of injustice.
People call my generation Generation Z, as if we are the last generation. But we are not. We are refusing to be the last letter of the alphabet. I am here before the whole country today, announcing that we are instead Generation GND, the generation of the Green New Deal.